But one of the keys to living a satisfying life is to know who you are. Its self-knowledge is notoriously difficult to acquire. Take me, for example. It took me 23 years as a serving officer in the United States Army to discover that I wasn't cut out to be a soldier. I lacked the essential attributes. I could play the role, but it wasn't really me. Now, soldiering is not without its rewards and satisfactions, some of which I experienced comradeship, not least among them. But military life can be confining. The military profession demands conformity and compliance. It does not encourage creativity. It is, in a word, intellectually claustrophobic. It's starting over again is not necessarily easy. Certainly it wasn't for me. I was then already in my 40s. I had a family to support, bills to pay. As I contemplated life outside of the reassuring cocoon of the Army, I wasn't sure I could find my way. The great big world on the outside did not necessarily look all that welcoming. And yet when I ventured into that great big outside world, what I found was an opportunity for self-discovery and even liberation. When I left the Army, I encountered ideas that previously I would have viewed with suspicion. And I encountered people that I would have dismissed as oddballs. But the ideas were challenging, and the people were intriguing. What to make of them? Well, grappling with that question obliged me to re-examine certain lazily acquired assumptions about American culture, American political economy, and above all else, America's role in the world. As a serving officer, I had not spent much time thinking about such issues. As you might suspect, American culture, political economy, and our role in the world are rather intimately related. I'm a slow learner. As a slow learner, it took me some amount of time to unpack that relationship, which, as it turns out, is at least problematic, if not altogether pernicious. The abiding defects of U.S. foreign policy, so amply on display today in places like Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan, derive directly from a particular conception of the American way of life, of what it entails and what it requires. Had enough of perpetual war? Don't blame Bush. Don't blame Obama. They're merely agents who are doing our bidding. Blame our insatiable appetite for consumption. Blame our insistence that others should define freedom as we do, even as we continuously revise our definition. Blame our conviction that we are history's chosen instrument. Now, as I wrestled with these weighty matters, I had the great good fortune to find a niche in academe. Not, I should emphasize, as a result of some master plan, but through the grace of God and the kindness of strangers. I think in any profession there's what we might call a satisfaction quotient. That's the relationship between the amount of time you spend doing what you want to do and the amount of time you spend doing what you have to do. Now, for college professors, apart from the whiners and those who entertain perhaps a too lofty opinion of themselves, that satisfaction quotient can be very high. Certainly it was for me. I enjoyed teaching. I enjoyed the opportunity to interact with and learn from colleagues who were far smarter than I am. But above all, and this was the great bonus, I enjoyed the opportunity to write, to become a writer. Books, book reviews, op-eds, long essays, short ones. I tried my hand at all of them. Now some of you know, maybe many of you know, that writing is really hard work. Yet here was work that I found to be immensely rewarding. I don't for a second believe that anything I write or anything I do has any significant impact on the world. I view myself as a bit player, a small voice in what is really a very complex, cacophonous conversation. The purpose of that conversation, however slowly, is to try to come closer to truth. As a participant in that conversation, I now have a sense that I'm doing what I'm meant to do. However belatedly, I found out who I really am. And for that, I'm very grateful. Thank you. I'm Andrew Bacevich. I'm a veteran of the United States Army.